Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and today we're gonna see together every single unusual location and incredible mechanics in this game. I have a flight in very few hours for going to this 1 month spiritual retreat with no technology that I already mentioned in other videos, and I've been all these days preparing all the videos for this month and I really ran out of time, so let's begin. Hi, I'm Alberto, I'm a real person, and here you will find the beginner's guide, the battle unit roster, tier list, ranking, and many shorts, so if you wanna support the channel, please consider to subscribe. The first of the 40 unusual location is the Assassin's Hideout. It's available only for Order Civilization, and you will get an ambush defense chance of plus 10% to all your armies. That it's great, depending of course against which factions you are fighting against, and then a plus recruit rank of 3 just for the local province, and there is a chance that you will get a unique trait for some characters associated to this location, that is the assassin training. So your character will get more experience per turn of 100, the enemy hero action success chance will be reduced of the 20%, and then you will get the vanguard deployment. Overall not that much powerful unusual location, but okay. The second one is the Bleached Black Arc, that it will be quite expensive to be removed, and it's available again only for Order Civilization. The experience gain upon demolishing this is of 5,000 money, and you will get less control while you get it. Basically there is this black arc that gets stuck in your port, because yes, it can appear only in a settlement with the port, and I mean, if you want to remove it, it's expensive, but you will get some experience because the Dark Elves will, they owe you a favor. Then we get the Blessed Monastery, that is this monastery in, atop a mountain, that will get you more experience gain of 5% for all the characters all around the map, and a Lord Recruit rank of plus 3, in this case not only in the local province, but all, faction-wide. And then there is this event, the Hidden Scrolls, that is basically, they will give you the character more experience gain, but less campaign movement, because you will find these hidden scrolls in one secret spot of the monastery, and it's again available only for Order factions. Then we get the company docks, that it's this Tilean, from Tilea, these merchants from Tilea, that they made a headquarter in your settlement, and it's again it can appear only in settlements with the port, because it's related, as Tilea is these merchants that go all around the world, is linked to the sea, and you will get a plus of growth just in the local province, that it's quite weak as an attribute, and a plus income of 10% in the province. And then there will be this event that can be triggered, where if you can decide between sell the settlement and get 20,000. That is a lot, of course, depends in which level of your campaign you are getting this unusual location, but if you get it in the early game, it can be quite precious, this treasure. But you will sell the settlement, I don't know to who, I did remember if it ever happened to me. Otherwise you can reject the offer and just don't get the money, but keep with the settlement. Then we get the Dwarf Mine Shaft, and basically there are some dwarves that are mining below your settlement. It's again available only for factions with order related, and you will provide the garrison of 1 unit of miners. That is not that much, and the income from all the building will be of plus 10%. Just the region, not the province. This is important, so not all the buildings in all the settlements of your province, but just the region itself. And the tradable resources will be more 5%, again, in this case I think it's faction-wide. And then you can trigger this event when there is a earthquake, and caused of course by the Dawi mining below your settlement, and you can decide between repair the damage, and in that case you have to pay something, but you will have in return, of course, you will keep gaining money for what we say case that is the the plus 10% of income of the buildings. Or you can do nothing, but your buildings will be damaged. In this case, it can be great if you are not taking care of this specific settlement, or you can just ask them to go away and the buildings will be damaged in any case. Then we get the exquisite vineyard. Exquisite. This happens to me a lot. It appears in many occasions. Again, to order factions, and you will get a plus of control, but even the / corruption. And there is this event that actually is very rare, I can tell you, where basically there is this person that just pass by and they offer you for 20 of money that is just symbolic this jug of Dreamwire that is an artifact that will get you more experience gain and more physical resistance, the attribute Unbreakable, and this lord will be wounded instead of killed in battle, of course, in case it's not a legendary lord. And then like for the Nemesis Crown and the Sword of Cain, you will have different levels that you will increase, / corruption, and then the leadership aura will be reduced. Your army will get a reduced leadership. So be very careful when you play with the Lord of Excess. Then we get the Grail Knight Grave that is available again only for Order factions. There are very few. I think, the Order faction got a better treatment, and you will get more control, less corruption, and when control is more than 75, it's quite rare for an Order faction, there is a chance for a character in this region to get a trait that you will see soon, and then in the garrison you will get a Grail Relic and a Grail Knight. The Grail Knight may be strong, the Grail Relic absolutely not. The trait is the Blessing of the Lady, that it boosts your physical resistance and ward save, if I remember correctly. So good for your character, but you have no interest on having the settlement with the 75 of and more of control. Sorry, forget everything that I said. Okay, it's controlled, so of course if your region is more controlled like it's supposed to be for an Order faction, you will get the Blessing of the Lady. So you can just pass by with your characters and get the trait. Then we get the Grand Illuminator's Residence that, this is only available to Rakeland, and it can appear only in Empire provinces, so you will have a very low chance to get it. In any case, you get a plus 10% of chance every turn of increasing the fealty of a random elector count. That's why, it works only for Rakeland. Then the Prestige gain, it's 1% per turn for the settlement owner. The Chaos Undivided, it's plus 10. That it can be easily ignored with some order and less corruption related buildings. And when Chaos Undivided is 50 or more, that, as I say, it can be rare. If you don't take care of the settlement, maybe you can reach it every time, turn by turn, but I think it's quite unlikely. And in this case, the prestige gain will be increased, but of course there will be more corruption. Then we get the Healer's Camp, that it's in this case is related a little to Nargol. It is available only for Order factions. Again, the chance of a plague spreading will be reduced faction-wide of 10%, and the plague duration will be of 1 less turn. And then a casualty replenishment rate is of 10% faction-wide. This is very powerful. Okay, getting this more casualty replenishment rate for all the armies everywhere in the map is very great. The other two are great only if you are fighting against a Nargol. That I would suggest to eliminate as soon as possible if you bump into a faction of the God of Life. Then we get the Homeless Shelter, that I don't get for which reason it increased the control. It's only available to Empire, Bretonia, and Kislev, and only if the public hoarder has to be lower than the less 51. Yeah, I don't get why a Homeless Shelter should boost the control. I have a degree in economics, so I never studied that, but I think it's the contrary. Then the income, I'm sorry to say that, but it's macroeconomically true. You will get less income from your buildings just in the region, and when control is below the 50%, the income from all the buildings will be even more reduced, but you will get more control. And when the control is 50 or more, this location will be removed, because I mean, if you have a safe country, you will get no homeless. I don't know if this for, you know, welfare, or just because you will take you would get rid of them, I don't know. Then we get the painted skin hideout. When it's painted, you can understand easily that it's of course related to Tzeentch. It can appear only in Cathay region and available to Order faction. You will get an increased 10% of research rate. That may be great, depends on the faction that you have, because some boost the technology and other not. But you will get also a Tzeentch corruption of 15 every turn, and when Tzeentch corruption is 50 or more, you will get more Tzeentch corruption, so it will be even harder to get rid of the Tzeentch cult inside your settlement, but you will get an additional 10% of research rate. Then we'll get the Ranger Outpost. In this case, again, available to Order factions. The hidden armies will be visible in the region. That, I mean, it's okay. Of course, in the Order faction have a higher chance to spot an army hidden, or you know, that is is trying to ambushing you, and you will get more control and more movement range for the armies that start the turn in this region. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. Then the Sacred Scythe Chapter House, that is against the Vampire, is available in so only for Order factions, and only in Wartbad and Stirland. Apparently, you will get less control. The diplomatic relationship with the Vampire will be reduced, and then you will be immune to vampiric attrition. All the armies. This is so powerful. I mean, you can go to Sylvania, and don't get affected by but all the corruption. Your army will not suffer attrition, so it's very, very great. And the less corruption for the local region. Attribute causes fear when fighting against the vampire counts. Again, okay, I didn't remember if this is shared by all the units or just the characters, but okay, you will have an easy life against vampire if you get this location. And of course, you can do it. I mean, that's why you can get it only in these few settlements. Then we get the Sewer Dwelling. That is of course a link to Skaven. It cannot appear in a province with the Skaven corruption that is higher, and it's only available in for Order factions. You will get a control reduced, more Skaven corruption, and when the Skaven corruption reach 100, you will have the chance for an event to trigger, and the location will be removed. We will talk soon about what. And yeah, basically you will discover a Skaven Undercity inside your settlement, and of course you need the money to remove it. So this is just a bad one. Try to get rid of it as soon as possible, and don't wait for the event to to trigger, because I mean, you will just get more Skaven corruption, and for nothing, to pay something for removing the Undercity. Then we get the Shrine of Vol, that improves the rarity of items gained from the battle. I really like all the items mechanics, so this is the kind of unusual locations that I would be very lucky to find. And the magic item drop chance from battle is increased by the 10%. And when the control is positive, you will get another chance to get a magical item of 20% per turn. This is only available for high health, and it can spawn only in Ulthon provinces, because Vol is one of the, I think, one of the god of the high health linked to what's the name? Smithing, iron smithing. And then we get the Silver Pinnacle Enclave. that it's linked to vampires, and it can be only in the silver pinnacles in the and the blasted wastes, and it's available for order factions. You will get a vigor loss reduction of less 10% for all your armies. This is very great, but more vampiric corruption, but it's okay. You can sacrifice this settlement to get the vigor loss reduction in faction wide, and when the vampiric corruption is 100 or more, that it's quite rare if you're of course taking care of the settlement, you will get more vampiric corruption, so it will be harder to get rid of that, and double experience gain for units when fighting against the vampire counts. That it may be okay. As I said, you can sacrifice this settlement, of course, be very careful of some rebellions, but at the same time, yeah, what you gain in exchange, it's good. And then magical attacks for all the armies. So yeah, I think it's very powerful. That's why it's rare to find, because it's just in the silver pinnacle, and more control. That to counterbalance the corruption. Then the snowy hamlet, that can appear only in certain Empire and Kislev regions, and of course for order factions. It will gives you the immunity to snow attrition for all your armies. That is great if you are trying to wandering across Norska or the northern coast wastes, and there is a lot of snow. You can suffer a lot of casualties. So yeah, this is quite great. And it's good that it's for Kislev, because Kislev is the faction that is most likely to expand towards the north. You will get less corruption, more leadership when fighting against chaos related factions, even here for all the armies, so very powerful, and more armor when fighting them. So just a little tweaks that all together can be great. Then we have the counting cows that of course boost money. You will get it only in Marienburg in the wasteland, so, and only for order factions. You will have a chance to trigger an event, then when the settlement income is 1,500 or more, you will get even more money and more growth. When is 500 or more, you will be still it's the same. Yeah, probably it's an increased, you can increase all the effects together, and yeah, at the end you can get the more 30% of income from building. That is great. Marienburg can be a rich settlement if you build, of course, in that direction. So yeah, and you will get more growth. Then we get the hell pit, the pit, that you can get it only in Ostermark in Mordenheim. That it's a very interesting location for the lore, and it's available only for order factions, of course. The Chaos and Divided Corruption will be plus 10%, the Skaven Corruption plus 10%, but income from all the buildings just in it would be of plus 50%. I don't know if this for the region of only the region of all the province. In any case, then you will get the if the Skaven corruption is 50 or more, you will get even more Skaven corruption, so it will be harder to get rid of them, but you will get also more 20% of income for yes, and when Chaos and Divided Corruption is 50 or more, you will get again, it's the same. So if you want to sacrifice this settlement just to get a lot of money with the Mordheim, I think that altogether you will get almost 90%, 90% more of income from your building, so the double what you gain. You can sacrifice this settlement. Of course, you have to be careful of rebellions, but you will get plenty of money. Then we get the Witch Hunter Outpost that is available to order factions. You will get more control, more missile strength when you fight against undead or demonic factions. That it's okay. Especially when the missile units, they don't have many dozens of missile strength, so 10% in 10 more can actually double their power in for some units, and then the enemy hero action success chance will be reduced over the 20%, and the less corruption, that it's, I mean, overall quite great. Then we get the Abandoned Forge of Hashut, that just for say, it provides you a garrison of 1 Kadai Destroyer. And now think, it doesn't, I mean, doesn't mention here exactly for all the, for which, probably for, it's available for all the factions. So yeah, think about having some high helps with the Kadai Destroyer. It would be very funny. I mean, I would like people to attack me just to test it. And you have a chance to forge a unique item when fusing 2 rare items. That this is great for me because, as I told you, I like to fuse items to get more powerful items. And yeah, I would be very lucky. I think that in one of my last campaigns I got it, this unusual location. And you will get a better diplomatic relationship with the Chaos Dwarfs. And the units recruited in these provinces will get a plus 20 of armor. That will be forever. And yeah, I mean, in this case, I would suggest you to recruit the units only here because 20 more of armor, it's very strong. And then, but I mean, in exchange, you will get a lot of Chaos Undivided Corruption. That, I mean, you can probably, I mean, there are not enough buildings to counterbalance that, but yeah, just put an hero there from time to time, and it would be solved. Then we get the Carnival of Nargol. At which point we are? I cannot see. Okay, the Carnival of Nargol is of course related to Nargol and is available to all the factions except Nargol, of course. You have a chance for a character to get 1 trait that we will see very soon, and you will get plus 5 of control, the Nargol corruption of plus 20, that is bad, and when Nargol corruption will be more than 50, there is a chance of a random plague breaking out at the start of each turn in your region. That is very bad. I mean, the plagues of Nargol affects your campaign more than you may think, so be very careful about that. And the trait that you will get in this case is that you will spread more plagues. That is not good, even because it can be linked to the Lord army and not to do the settlement. So even if you wander around, it can be dangerous for you. But more 50 of growth and some passive ability linked to Nargol, so the Perfect Vigor and the other 2 that are debuffs for the enemies nearby, one that causes damage, and the other, if I remember correctly, it's a reduction of the leadership, of course, of the enemies. Then we get the Cathayan Caravan. That it will give you more control, more growth, more income, just 1%, so nothing. And at some point it can depart. But if you get the event to basically get rid, I mean, you have to suck the Cathayan Caravan. That is not great, and that's why they may be angry with you. Later you will get less 100 of diplomatic relationship with Grand Cathay and less leadership against them, or you can just pay the toll and let them moving along. Otherwise you can get some money and some powerful artifacts. That probably I would suggest this choice, even if you will get the diplomatic, I mean, in any case the bad diplomatic relationship with Grand Cathay lasts only 15 turns, so you can survive. Then we get the Crimson Skull's Chamber. This is related to Khorne, but Khorne and the Warriors of Chaos are the only faction that cannot access. He requires a Khorne corruption to be below 50 in the region, and the faction leader has to have defeated the trait of, has to have defeated Scarbrand, Arbal, or Skulltaker. Skulltaker or Valkia. And I mean, all together it can be a little rare, but yeah, I think that it will start to appear when you defeat these legendary lords. Now you will get the Khorne sanction, so each time, each time you declare war on a faction with the Khorne corruption, a faction of Khorne, the Khorne corruption will be removed, and it will be extremely costly to remove. The Khorne corruption will be a plus 20%. When Khorne corruption is 100 or more, that it's very rare. I mean, why you should let the corruption raise that high? You will have the Khorne parting gift, so you will instantly declare war on the 10 random factions. And honestly, I would really like to get this unusual location. It never happened to me, but well, it would be very, very challenging and funny. And in this case, the location will be removed. And when corn corruption is less than 50%, that is more likely. Of course, if you are healing the corruption within your settlement, the base weapon damage will be of more 20% for all the region owner armies. That is great. Okay, it's a more than 1/5 of all the weapon. Of course, not the ammo piercing, but for low tier units, it can be extremely powerful. And then more 50% of charge bonus again for all the armies. I mean, a more charge bonus of 50%. Understand that many units can become chariots. So yeah, I think it's a very high tier, even if of course there are some consequences. But it's a very strong unusual location. Then we'll get to the dwarf construction site, that there is an event that we will talk in a minute. And then a more diplomatic relationship with the dwarves. It's available only for order factions. The cost will be reduced for reduced for all the buildings in the province, and even the time. And then the heavy supply usage, where the defender will begin siege battles with no defensive supplies. That is not good. I don't know how it's possible. Maybe because the dwarves are using all the tools for for the construction, so they are not provided with them when they will siege you. And the event is basically this choice between paying and letting the dwarf construction company leave the region, or don't pay and they will do too little work. So you will telling the dwarf that you are short on construction, very funny, and but they will they will feel bad. They will leave you permanently, but for 10 turns you will get more reduction cost and less diplomatic relationship with the Dawi. Then we get the Elden Forts, that they're available to all the order factions. You will get more better diplomatic relationship with high health, more growth, more tradable resources, and income from the buildings of 10%. Not that wrong, but at least it's only bonuses and not bad stuff. Then we get the faulty Doom Spheres, that it's very costly to remove. It's available to all factions except Skaven, and the Skaven corruption needs to be below 30/33 for this unusual location to spawn. Then you will get less control but more research rate. That is great. Some Skaven corruption, of course, that when it reaches 0, that it will be removed safely. So you have to manage that if you want to keep it to get the research rate, since the cost of control and corruption is not that big. But at the same time, you have to play with your edits, with your buildings, because if you reach that 0, then it will be just removed. And when it is 100, it will detonate. So try to avoid it, because you will lose the settlement in an instant. Then we get the Ogre Mercenary Camp, that is available to everyone except the Ogre Kingdoms, of course. You will get a more diplomatic relationship with Ogre Kingdoms of 100, that of course they are friendly factions, but 100, it's great. You can get a lot of Ogre, not for free, but but you can create some alliances with them. You will get less growth, because I should not tell you, but Ogre are mainly man-eater, so they will they will be a little detrimental for your growth of people. The casualty replenishment rate will be of plus 2% for all the armies. That it's okay. The upkeep of less 20% for all the Ogre Kingdoms units, so the mercenaries or the allies units. And the units recruited in this province, they will have a more 10% of melee defense bonus. That wow, and it's forever. So I would suggest to recruit most of your units from this province, or or region. Then the income from all the buildings will be reduced even here, because Ogre are quite addicted to money, and the global recruitment capacity will get a +1 more. And then in your garrison you will get a couple of Ogre Bulls, Iron Fist, 1 Ashen Man-Eater, and 1 Thunder Tusk. So please attack me, because I want to test my new Ogre garrisons. Then we get the Peg Street pawnbroker that I mean, basically, well, periodically they will offer you items to buy that are quite expensive. You can see here, but I mean, they can give you, you know, powerful abilities. So yeah, definitely nice. It's something that I like it. Of course, yeah, trying to collecting all the items of the world is my favorite hobby in this game. You will get a chance to gain a magic item of plus 10% per turn. Crazy. Income from all the buildings of 5, and when all the items have been purchased, there will be an event, and when the control is 90 or more, that pawnbroker's items will be half a price, because I don't know, I think it should be half a price when the control is less, okay, because I mean, there is more corruption, I mean, more political corruption, not chaos corruption. And then we get the primordial spawning pools that is available only to leadermen. You will get a reduced upkeep for blessed units that if you play with the leadermen, especially after the last patch, I mean, you will have a lot of fun with the blessed units, so it's great. And income from all the buildings of plus 5, not that much. When control is 50 or more, you will get the immunity to contact effects for all the blessed units and another reduced upkeep. So try to keep the control as high as possible, and you will get a garrison of blessed Saurus warriors, skinks skirmishers, and a blessed stegadon. So wow. Really wow. Then we get the Sartosan Vault that is linked to pirates. It can appear only in settlement with a port and to the factions except Beastmen and the Demons of Chaos, Greenskins. I mean, except all the, you know, the Destruction Chaos faction, but not Zinch and not Slanesh, just for saying. There will be an event that we will talk in a minute, and the diplomatic relationship with the Vampire Coast, they will be increased, but you will get less control and less diplomacy with all the other factions. So I mean, just decide, and the income from the trade tariffs will be reduced, and but you will get more post-battle loot. Overall, I don't know if this is great to keep. I don't know. I have contradictory feelings, and you will get a treasure as the trigger event. But yeah, these people are well aware of you're dealing with the pirates and are obviously not happy about this. That's why you will have a worse diplomatic relationship with Kislev for 7 turns. Then we get forget about this. We get the Underworld Sea Entrance. That it's a powerful thing, because you will get 7 War Hydra. Okay, it can appear only in Nagaron, and it's available only for Order faction. So basically, you need to occupy a settlement in Nagaron with your Order army. That is not necessarily that easy. Maybe with the Grombindal, the White Dwarf, or with the Sisters of Twilight, and you will get a garrison of 7 War Hydra. Yeah, please attack me, because I want to test this. The Underworld sea travel time will be of less 2, and the sea lane's journey duration will be of less 1 turn. So basically, you will be able to go from one side to the other side of the Underworld sea. That is basically, you know, the area of sea under Nagaroth that just cross it, and with the sea lane, it will be, I mean, with all this reduction, it would be just, 1 turn. And the diplomatic relationship will be reduced with the Dark Elves, but at the same time you will get the Coast Terror attribute when you play with when you fight against the Dark Elves for all your armies. Then you get the Unearthed Tomb that is available only to Tomb Kings, that boosts some of their specific mechanics, so more Tomb Guards with halberds. It's increased the unit capacity, so you don't need to build the buildings to get this additional one. More Ushabti and Ushabti with great bows, this is wow, and 1 unit of Necrosphinx. You will get more diplomatic relationship with the Tomb Kings, that there are not many factions, so like if you are Khalida, you will get better relationship with Cetra, that's it. And when control is 90 or more, you will get more army capacity, so you'll be able to recruit another lord, and more diplomatic relationship with the Tomb Kings. Now we will get, now we'll see the long ones. First, the Unstable Chaos Portal, that can only appear in a province with 3 settlements or more. And basically, each turn there is a 20 chance of random region in this problem that will be raised. This is very bad. Okay, 20% it means 1 every every 5 turn, and but the income will be of plus 100%, but still not crazy, because if it's raids, so all the buildings will be destroyed, you have no interest in keeping that. You can just maybe for 1 or 2 turns if you like, you know, to bet, if you like to be risky, but otherwise no. Then you will get more chaos and divided corruption. When any region in this province is currently raised, you will get even more income, but I mean, you know, that's it's bad, because I mean, at the end all of them, they will be destroyed, and you will get more winds of magic, but just 5, so nothing. And then when all the regions in the province are currently raised, that in this case, I mean, I don't know how, I mean, how can you know, because you don't have the unusual location anymore if they are all raised. I mean, you will get a better chance to gain a magic item of 10%, and each turn there is a 20% of chance of random region in the world to be raised, excluding this region, of course. I mean, it's completely raised, and the income from all the buildings is of plus 200%. It's not clear to me, like okay, sorry, if it's remaining only one region, you will get all this stuff. I mean, quite weird, honestly. I don't like it that much. It's something that it never happened to me for now, but I would remove it, I suppose. Then the Warpstone Meteor Impact, when you will get more research rate of 20%, very, very great, but Skaven Corruption of 30. It's available to all the factions except Skaven, because of course they benefit from 30% of corruption, Skaven Corruption. And when the Skaven Corruption is 100 and more, you will get even more research rate of 50. I mean, you can decide if just, you know, keeping a little army close to this settlement to get rid of rebellions, and then you know, just benefit from all the research rate increase. But yeah, you have to take care of all the Skavens that will rebel to you from time to time. I think I would use this strategy. Then we get the Tower of the Cabal, that it's another very, very long and hard to explain unusual location. So let's go little by little. It will be available to all the faction again except the Beastmen and the Zinch, and it's the Cabal. This it's something that will affect not only this. It was this. Wait, that I'm making a little of confusion. Yeah, I think, yeah, okay. The Tower of Cabal, yeah, is the one that basically he will affect not only this campaign, but all the other campaigns that you will play. I don't know how the game itself keep track of this. In any case, yeah, you have this power level that it's 0 by default, and you will see now why. If a character ends up in this turn, in this region in one turn with the 21 more legendary lord defeat traits, that it's very rare. I mean, you have to play a lot you have to have defeated many legendary lords to get 20, and believe me, it's not that easy. Otherwise you are doing this for fun, and in this case the location will be removed, but there are the predestined plans, so the Cabal will become more powerful in all the future campaigns that you will play. If the Cabal power level is 3 or more, so you already played some campaigns and you went with one character with this 20 legendary lord defeat traits there, and you will reach the 3 of level, it's that you will get the expedited schemes. So each time you destroy an enemy faction, you gain an effect lasting 1 turn that provides a near instant recruitment and construction. That this is strong. I mean, this is a way to, you know, make your campaigns easier and easier. I don't know why they made something like that, but yeah, it's really powerful. Then you will get if the Cabal power is 5 or more, so probably you have to do this for 5 campaigns. You will have the Flawless Machination, so after losing a settlement to an enemy force, there is a 5% chance the force will be destroyed and the settlement returned. If the Cabal power level is 7 or more, there are the inevitable consequences. So after conquering a region, there is a 20 chance you will automatically occupy the entire province. I mean, wow, it's really too much, and 20% chance it's 1 every 1/5, so even too much probably, yeah. If the Cabal's power is 9 or more, that probably is the peak. You will get the impossible outcome. So 2% chance per turn that one of your enemies will have their entire faction utterly destroyed. So you don't need even to fight your enemies, just just wait a few turns. I mean, really crazy. Then we get the Purple Hand safe house. I hate this. I get in my last campaign with the Tenawin, and it's definitely not good. It's available to all the factions against, sorry, why I'm saying against all the time? I don't know. Except Zinch. And basically, when this unusual location spread to 9 location, it will be removed, but just in that location, not in the other 9. The campaign movement. Now, okay, we will first talk about the benefits. You will get an additional movement range of 9% to all your armies, less cost of construction for all the buildings faction-wide. The income for all the buildings will be better faction-wide, again of 90%. The Winds of Magic power reserve will be of more 9. That, I mean, the attributes itself themselves are good, but when the Zinch corruption reach 50 or more, there is this chance of these houses spreading even more. You will get more Zinch corruption, and you will get this ability that is the Arcane Surge. And yeah, and then when the Zinch corruption is less than 50, there is a 3% of chance for the Purple Hand to spread to another region that it's lesser, so they will do it not that fast, we can say. But you will still get Zinch corruption. And yeah, believe me, it's not that great because they get more expensive with each turn. I remember that the first were just a few thousands of money to be removed, but the second one was like 90,000 of money to remove it. So I mean, unless you want to Zinch to spread corruption in your lands, that for my Legion settlements was definitely not great. I mean, you have to be very careful, because I mean, you can destroy Zinch armies, but getting 90,000 of money to remove just the second location, it's definitely a huge effort. Then we get the Cult of Pleasure. That is available to all the faction except Slanesh. It requires the Slanesh corruption to be lower than 70, not that hard. You will get more unit experience per turn of 100. The character experience per turn will be of more 200, but just for the armies in the region. When the Slanesh corruption will be more than 100, every turn you will get a 10% chance to spawn a Slanesh cult in one of your region. That you have to be careful about that. I'm not sure how you can remove it. Then when normally killed in action, your lords will be wounded instead of killed for all the lords. That it can be great. You know, it's tempting, the Lord of Pleasure. The immunity to diplomatic penalties from trespassing, that is another quite powerful stuff. But you will get more Slanesh corruption in the adjacent province, and of course in your local province of 30. That you should not underestimate that. It's very hard to take care even with your order and anti-corruption buildings. And when Slanesh corruption is less than 100, each turn there is a 2% chance of course spawning again a Slanesh cult. So far more rare, but still be very careful. Then we get the Covenant Laboratory that is available to all the faction against the Nargol. They made against, oh my god, against except the Nargol. And yeah, they made like this kind of settlement for any monogods I mean, basically you will get the Crimson Plague, so 5% chance per turn of a weak plague to infect the region, and 1% charge for a damaging plague to infect most of your faction. Then you will get the Crimson Plague of 001 chance for a devastating plague that will infect the entire world. This would be very fun. I mean, it's very rare, but yeah, I should check if it happened to someone, because I really would like to see what happened. And then the Nargol corruption of 20%, about 20 more. When this settlement has no active plague, you will get this replenishment in foreign territory enabled for all the armies. And wow, I mean, if it's not that, of course, to counterbalance that, you may risk to infect all the world. But yeah, it's very nice. And immunity to all not plague attrition, but not the plague themselves. So you will not be, unaffected by that. But Yeah, all the other attrition from Vampiric to Chaos, you don't care. The Winds of Magic cost is less 20%, so good for your spellcasters, and more casualty replenishment rate for all your armies. In this case, yes, what you get in return, it's very strong, but still, you can infect all the world, even if it's quite rare. Okay, it's risky, depends if you are good with risking or not. Then we get the Dark Gift, that it's the last one. It's available to all the faction against the Chaos-related factions, so even Chaos Dwarfs, but not the Beastmen, apparently, and not even Norska. You will get less, worse diplomatic relationship with all the factions, because, you have a Dark Gift within your settlement. The more corruption of the Chaos Undivided. The units recruited in this province, they will have a permanent 20% more of melee attack bonus. Great, recruit the units here, and they will have a permanent 10% of melee defense bonus, and a permanent 10% of armor bonus. So overall, yeah, you have all the interest to get superpowers with all your units here. But every time a unit is recruited in this province, there is a 50% chance that is high. If you think that you may recruit 20 units, it's very likely for these things to happen, of a random Chaos-aligned Legendary Lord will gain 10% ranks more. That, if you don't care that much, if you are not fighting currently with some Chaos Legendary Lords, you may not care, but still be careful. A 10% chance of a random province in the world that will gain 100 Chaos Corruption. Just hope that is not you, but if you are playing with the Order faction, you may have no interest in pushing that. And then another 5% chance of a Chaos Aligned Legendary Lord army that will gain maximum experience for all its units. So yeah, be careful, because some of the Chaos-related Legendary Lords like Tamurkhan or Arbal, they can be already too much strong for the game. So if you even got superpower to them, be very careful with your choice from your responsibilities. Thank you for following me. Now I have to go to prepare the bag and edit the video, of course. So let's see very soon. In 1 month, and see you very soon. Yeah. Sorry, I haven't slept for days, so bye-bye. I love you guys. Have a nice September and October.